Hello, I'm Sarah Maloney, and I'm here today talking with Nicole Georges. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Nicole. I'm a graphic novelist. I'm a podcaster. I'm a professor. Just a gal about town and a zinester.
Yes, cool. Well, I thought we could maybe start this by doing something, because I'm one of your students, that we do in class. We always start with a nice drawing exercise. So, and also if people are watching, I know it's pre-recorded. You could do this at home.
Great.
Maybe draw a giraffe and you having some tea.
All right. Wonderful. How long do we have?
We'll take 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Cool. Do you think you can talk while you draw?
Give me a second.
Okay.
I can in a sec. All right. I think I can now.
Cool. Okay. Thanks. Well, I was just curious how your creating process has changed during COVID.
Well, a few ways. Over the course of COVID, I basically relocated from LA to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So that changed things. In LA, I had a studio there that was just a private room in a building. So I was still able to go to work, and podcasting is known as essential work in LA. So even when, like, journalism is essential work,
Mm-hmm.
so even when we got completely shut down in LA, I could still go to my studio to work on my podcast and art and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't seeing it, so basically, like, at the beginning of it, I was working from home, and then I was going to my studio, and it was just like a lot of bleaching. It was like a lot of being cautious not to see anyone and to, like, bleach everywhere I had been just in case I was a carrier, and bleaching everything else in case someone else was a carrier. That became part of it.
Yeah.
That was just part of it.
Yeah.
Just like wearing a full hazmat suit to my studio, like having extra gloves and like wipes to touch everything with, to get in, to get out, everything. And then I came to Portland, where I basically been working from home in a couple different homes as I wait for my art studio to become available to me again. So working from home is the way it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like working from home.
No.
I feel grateful to have a home,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. I'm grateful to have work, but I don't enjoy working from home.
Yeah, I was living in Seattle and I had a studio, but then I had to move out after like a month of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember how like cautious I was of even just moving out of there. I felt really nervous.
Remember when we didn't know at first, like, what would or would not kill you or the people around you?
Yeah.
So it was like, oh God, I know that my senior citizen neighbors can't go to the store, but if I get them groceries, will I kill them?
Yeah.
By my particles being on the grocery bags that I leave at their doorstep.
Exactly. Yeah, that was really scary. We still don't know, but we know more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's changed it a little bit. I have continued, knock on wood, to have work throughout the pandemic, and sometimes more work. As you know, we had a double-sized cohort this summer.
Yep.
So all of my travel got shut down. I was doing everything from home instead of being in San Francisco or being wherever I was. I was going to teach a graphic novel workshop in Provincetown at the Fine Arts Work Center.
Yeah.
Go to Linda Berry's workshop in upstate New York. I was going to do a bunch of stuff, but instead I was at home and I was teaching twice as many classes, figuring out how to do it from afar. how to take my in-person lessons and try to make them condensed and zoomable.
Yep.
And luckily I had a little bit of experience with that, but I really like being together.
Me too. It's really hard. Being a very social
like what we're doing right now, like this kind of little writing, drawing sort of check-in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of thing is really nice to do in person because everybody can get grounded together.
Yeah.
And we get to look at each other's drawings and laugh and pass them around, and everybody can share a particular experience that feels, I don't know what you call it. It's nice when everybody can feel the same physical experience.
Yeah.
Like all of you would be tired at the same time.
Yeah. No, it definitely helps with bonding.
Yeah, you would all get some like trauma bonding or I don't know, just like we're very busy doing comics boot camp kind of bonding.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I miss it. But it definitely, I was surprised still how much when you started doing these exercises with us that I still felt as connected as I could be through a screen with someone. Because you sort of hear the scratches of the pens and stuff still.
Oh yeah, I really like that. And I like seeing everybody's drawings.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I love holding people's drawings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's why I love like zines and stuff too, right? Because you're like holding something that someone has done almost like probably everything. The making, the folding, the stapling, or just it's all been touched by them.
Yeah, I love that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe what's one of the first zines you made?
Well, I made a ska zine when I was 14 that had stuff about aliens and ska music and punk music. And it had comics, not by me though, because I had given up comics a few years before because I just realized I wasn't good at drawing superheroes, and those were the kind of comics I was into or had seen. Mm-hmm. So it took me getting into zines and getting deep enough into zines that I found things like King Cat by John Porcellino and like American Elf by James Kachalka, where I could be like, oh, you could make comics about your own life? That's the thing. And also, you don't need to draw like anything. Yeah. Like your drawings could look like anything. Like you don't have to draw your humans as human, any of that.
Mm-hmm. That's been really fun.
So I started making a zine when I was 14. So that was in 1995. 94, 95, I started making my first zine.
So
I already had a booming art career as a sandwich artist at Subway. So this was just, icing on the cake there.
Yeah. I didn't know I was an artist yet, but I had a booming career at the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What?
I was a bagger, and then I was promoted to checker, which was very exciting. Yeah.
I have a very good friend who she owned a bakery, and then when she sold the bakery, she got a job at a grocery store. Mm-hmm. So that she could just leave it at home. Yeah. Like after having that kind of job where she had to be on call 24/7, she just was like, and then I just go home and it's done.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was just like a local grocery store, so I just felt wholesome. And
I gotta say, I do like to make fun of her because she had to become proficient at the art of small talk, of like big plans for the weekend. What do you guys got going tonight?
Yep. It's usually the same question, same answer, but that's okay.
Well, I started to resent the people at the grocery store because I was like, it's none of your business. But I know they just have to. So that's why I like to make fun of her about it.
That's funny. Yeah. That's good. Well, let's see. You mentioned your podcast. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and like how people can tune into that?
Yeah, I have a podcast called Sagittarian Matters. It is a podcast. It's like a queer arts podcast, basically. So, I've been a teacher for a long time. I've been a teacher in one way or another for like 20 years-ish. And I also just happen to know a lot of artists from being an artist. And so I was having these moments where bands and cartoonists and people were staying at my house, and we were always having these great conversations that I felt like were so useful and helpful. And I wish that I could share them with my students. Mm-hmm. because I was like, this is the kind of conversation my students would probably really benefit from hearing. But I just was like, why are these conversations like a privileged kind of private thing?
Mhm.
What if I could record them? Also, at the time, I was listening to podcasts and I was listening to so many men, and I don't even hang out with men. So like cisgendered straight men's voices being in my head felt so weird because I was like, okay, well, there obviously need to be more podcasts, more like queer women in podcasting.
Yeah.
So I started it. I was on a fellowship in Virginia working on a graphic novel, and I was lonely, and it was a great way to connect with other people. So like all those artists who would come through my house or whatever, I could just like Zoom with them or FaceTime with them.
That's really cool.
So we've been doing it for 4 years, my producer Chris and I, and producer Panyo. And we have, we have over 200 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, we do it almost every week.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Well, I'm just adding like things I don't need to add to my drawing.
Like what?
I'm making lots of stars. I decided it was night time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, since we're drinking tea.
All right.
Yeah, is there anything you want to share before we share our drawings and say goodbye?
Hold on. Well, I need to finish my giraffe's legs. So if you have another question.
Okay, one more question. Okay, let's see here.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. I got lots of good ones. What's something new you want to try to learn with your art, or something you want to try that you haven't done before, if anything?
Well, I want to get better at merchandising my art from a purely capitalistic standpoint. I want to get better at merchandising my art. I also want to do a kid's book.
Oh,
There's a weird barrier to entry in my brain that I sometimes can't remember what feels appropriate and not appropriate for a kid's story. Like both of my books have been YA approved by YA librarians. But to me, I feel scandalized because they have cursing, sexual ideations. They have all kinds of stuff in them. So yeah, I'm just never completely sure. Or then people will be like, okay, what age is it for? And I'm like, I don't know. Like what age is Frog and Toad for? I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard because I would read that. It feels all ages.
But you would read it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
Well, that's what I want to do. Oh, here we go.
We'll see. Oh, I like the giraffe's hair.
I had to be on a tiny table. Because he's so much taller than me.
Oh, that's sweet. To help with a giraffe neck pain, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cute. Are you wearing sunglasses?
Yeah, I guess it's at night. I didn't think that through, but yeah.
All the parts are wearing glasses.
Yeah. Helps me see.
That's very cool.
Yeah, thank you for doing that with me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hopefully other people drew. Well, yeah, thanks for the quick chat. Maybe let people know how we can support you or check out your art because you do so many things. Yeah.
A lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You got me on Instagram at Nicole Georges. You can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/NicoleJGeorges. And you can find out about the podcast just through my Instagram header. My website's NicoleJGeorges.com. It's just spelled like it sounds, like more than one George. No big deal. I will say I do feel grateful that I'm out of that part of the pandemic where I was bleaching my skin off, where I just had skeleton hands. I went from having chicken hands, like the way a chicken's feet look, to then just having skeleton hands because I just had bleached every part of myself.
Yeah, I'm glad you're past that too. Me too. That was scary.
And I don't know if I've had time for the pandemic to catch up to me or not. I think I've just been compartmentalizing it so I can keep working and doing things. So who knows? Maybe at some point, at the very last day of pandemic, when I'm in line for the vaccine, I'll just crumble on the ground in a pile of or something.
They'll have to have someone going along the line, like for that kind of help and support.
There's something where it's like when you are doing something stressful and then your body holds it together and then you get sick the minute you're done.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm anticipating that.
Yeah, but just on like a mass scale. That's sort of scary.
Where it's just like a whole year of like fires and earthquakes and pandemic and loss and grief and, you know, nationwide upheaval and grief. I'll be like, it's fine. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, after inauguration day, as I'm in line for a vaccine, I'll just be like,
yeah, lots of screaming, probably. Yeah.
That's fine. So follow the primal screams, and that's how you can find me and support my art.
Okay. Well, we'll do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.